Hello, and today we're doing an FPL preview for game week number 16. Those are the fixtures, and I'm going to talk through my transfers, my captaincy, and all that lovely stuff in this video. So let's get into it. So first of all, in goal is going to be Alex McCarthy. He's facing against a West Ham side that can be up and down, but off the back of that Fulham clean sheet, I'm confident in McCarthy. Then we're going to have Dallas at the back. We've got Zuma playing. Now, whether I play Cresswell or not is the next question, but I'm probably going to bench him. And I'm probably going to play Justin instead, who I think's got the better fixture against Crystal Palace. And Justin is nice and attacking. You could argue that it's risky because Pereira might be back, but I thought he would come back for that Man United game and he didn't. So I think Justin's probably got one more game in him, and it will be that Palace game that he basically ends his time in my team, and then after that I'll probably sell him. We've got Bowen in there as well. He should hopefully do well. Son, Salah, Grealish, Calvert-Lewin and Bamford. But let me just show you what transfers I'm making this week. So I've come to this decision that I need Bruno Fernandes. He's just doing too well. So De Bruyne is going to go and Fernandes is going to come in. So with De Bruyne, Man City haven't looked good enough in terms of going forward this season. I've just seen now that actually Fernandes has gone up in price, which is quite frustrating, but it is what it is. So Fernandes is coming in for De Bruyne, and Wilson is going for Che Adams, because yes, you'd say Southampton didn't look great against Fulham, but Che Adams was always involved in Southampton's attack, and how he scored that one where it rebounded off the bar with that Ward-Prowse free kick, like that was unlucky to not score that. And then again, he nearly got an assist because the goal from Theo Walcott was disallowed. So Che Adams is a man that I'm really wanting to have, especially for those double game week fixtures against Leicester and Leeds. And, the fixtures might look amazing, but at the end of the day, fixtures we've seen this season don't massively play a part. So I think Adams will defy the odds and still get points. So those are the transfers I'm going to be making. Che Adams in for Callum Wilson. Wilson has been a bit frustrating because he's not really been doing the bits at all. And, I brought him in for those good fixtures, but he's only scored one goal and one assist in those games. And obviously we saw him last night get rested. At the time of recording, of course, he got rested. So, yeah, he's just not one that I want to keep. And the other transfer, De Bruyne, is just not scoring as many goals as he did in previous seasons. I think Fernandes is more important this year. So that is the transfers I'm going to be making. In terms of the team selection, so in goal, as I said, it's going to be McCarthy. Now, with West Ham, they can go up and down in terms of their attack, but I think McCarthy, off the back of that Fulham clean sheet, will be feeling confident. And, he's a man that's got so many points for me this season, so I'm not worried about him at all. And then we have in defence, we're going to have Stuart Dallas, and he's got a lovely fixture against West Brom. The chance of a clean sheet there is probably quite high, so I'm confident for Dallas. And he's got a game today against Burnley, but in terms of the game today against West Brom, I feel like he will do well. So yeah, that's an interesting one. I say today, it's actually Tuesday, so it's on the time of recording. The day you'll see this, it will actually be tomorrow. But anyway, you get the idea. And Stuart Dallas is just an absolute legend. So he's going to be starting, of course. Now, we've got Kurt Zuma playing against Aston Villa. Now, obviously, it would have been nice to see a Zuma goal against Arsenal, but fair play Arsenal. They actually unpicked Chelsea there. So Zuma, yeah, not ideal stuff against Arsenal. But Aston Villa, I think, is a better fixture. I mean, if anyone does score for Aston Villa, then it should be hopefully Jack Grealish. But with Kurt Zuma, you can back him to score, and he's got a few home headers that he scored this season against Crystal Palace and against Leeds United, respectively. So I think Zuma's got a chance of some more returns. Then we've got Aaron Cresswell, and I think we're going to switch Aaron Cresswell onto the bench because realistically, I'm going to be playing Fernandes. This is going to be Fernandes, and Wilson is going to come in to the team because he's going to be Che Adams. So basically that means that I will probably be benching Jack Grealish, which is not ideal because he's a good player and he's done well this season, but he has dropped off a little bit recently and he's not got many points. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Jack Grealish first sub, and then I'm going to have Cresswell second sub, and then my lineup will be Mccarthy, Dallas, Zuma, Justin, and then Fernandes, Bowen, Son, Salah, Wilson. Well, I say Wilson. It's going to be Che Adams, Calvert-Lewin, and Bamford. Now you could say, oh well, maybe you should bench Calvert-Lewin because he's got a game against Man City, which you'd say is probably harder than Chelsea. Well, actually, this season I don't think that it is. I think Calvert-Lewin he's already shown that he can score against the big teams. He scored points against Liverpool, Man United, Tottenham. So I don't back against Calvert-Lewin doing well. And Calvert-Lewin, is Mr. Consistent. Like last game, another frustrating yellow card, nothing going on there. But yeah, at the end of the day, Calvert-Lewin is still Calvert-Lewin, and he still was unlucky to not score in that game. I remember there was that one where he chested it down, had the volley, and it just went wide. So he's still got that instinct when the ball falls to him, but it's just a matter of can he score against Man City this week. I'm hoping he can, so I'm going to play him for that reason. I'm going to have Grealish first sub because, as I said, Grealish has been pretty disappointing since I brought him in. He's only returned against West Ham and West Brom, and West Brom was too late, very assists. So, he's not been amazing. So that's probably going to be my lineup with the transfers made. In terms of captaincy, just looking quickly, it's a tough one because I have Son and Salah that both have really nice fixtures, but I thought originally that I was definitely going to captain Salah. Now I'm not too sure, so I might change it. This is one of those things, like if you see the team now, but I might change it last minute. So, I might have Son captain right at the end and then Salah vice, but what you should know is that it's between these two. So basically Salah will be either captain or vice captain and Son either captain or vice captain. And as I said, Fernandes is coming in, but he's coming in for a game against Wolves, which is not ideal, obviously, but I want Fernandes long term, and he doesn't have to be a vice captain or a captain or anything. He just needs to come into my team because he's just doing too well to really ignore him. I obviously did have Fernandes very recently, but I had to sacrifice him to get Salah in because that was the only way that I could afford Salah. And again, with Salah, he was a one that I really wanted long term. So, at the end of the day, it didn't hurt me too much, that transfer, but it would just be really, really nice to have both Salah and Fernandes. So that's the plan for this week, basically. In terms of my thoughts on Jarrod Bowen, well, against Southampton, it might be tough. So maybe I play Grealish over Bowen, but I just feel Chelsea is a tougher fixture, and Grealish has not been performing, whereas Bowen has not really had his time to shine in my team. Like, to be fair, I brought him in, and the two games that I first had him, I've benched him both times, and luckily I was making the right judgment to bench him because he blanked against some tough teams. But this week he's playing against Brighton, and obviously he's playing this week, so I'm hoping he scores then, and that will hopefully give him confidence to score again against Southampton. But I'm probably going to keep it as that. I don't see why I should play Grealish. Unless you disagree with me, then get it down in the comments. But I don't think I'm going to change from this because at the end of the day, Chelsea is a tough fixture, and Grealish is Grealish at the end of the day. He can score against the big teams, but I've not got faith. He's not really passed the eye test recently, Jack Grealish, and of course it could come back to bite me if Fernandes gets a rest against Wolves. Then obviously I'll have Grealish come in, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I think this is locked in my lineup with the transfers made once they have been made for Game Week 16. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this FPL preview for Game Week 16. It's going to be an interesting one because the deadline is so soon after Game Week number 15 ends. So it's a quick turnaround, and we really need to get some more points. But yeah, it's a big week in the fact that a lot of people will start to be looking towards that double game week now and the blank game week. So this is the last, well, not the last, but the penultimate week before the blank game week. So it's a big one. So I'm hoping that my transfers in of Fernandes and Che Adams will make the difference. But that is my team, and in terms of my rank, obviously my current rank, this is in between Game Week 15, is really dropped down. It was something like 750k, and now it's dropped down to the below 1 million. So it's really disappointing stuff. But I'm hoping, this is obviously a bit in the future, but I'm hoping by the end of Game Week 16, I'll be back to where I want to be, around about 700k, 600k. But it's a really competitive one. And the thing is, this time of the season is when a lot of FPL managers like stop making transfers because they become inactive, and only the people that are actually really keen at fantasy will keep on going. So I'm hoping that benefits me to some extent, and especially with these very quick turnarounds for deadlines. Some people might forget to change their team, and obviously this week is an interesting one because it's the start of the FPL Cup. And I've got to say, I don't know if I'll do well in it, and to be honest, I'm not going to prioritise it. It's not important, and obviously it's fun if you get far, but it really doesn't matter. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who I get drawn up against based on my overall rank for this first round of the FPL Cup this week. But as I said, it's not important. It's just a bonus if you do well. And what's important is getting some points here. But we really do need to have a big week, game week 16, because I've got a feeling that when I do my review of game week 15, it will not be pretty. But thanks for watching this FPL preview for game week 16. Make sure you smash that like button, comment down below your thoughts on this upcoming game week, and let's hopefully see some big points for the likes of Patrick Bamford against West Brom, and also for the man that is Mo Salah against Newcastle. Come on. I mean, surely that's some points there. The only thing I would say is that, Fernandes usually plays better away from home and Salah better at home. So it's not ideal in that aspect. But I'm still confident in this team, and I think we just got to bounce back from last week. It wasn't a good week, or at least it's not shaping up to be. So yeah, this is the time to really bang, and I'm hoping game week 16 will give me the FPL points galore. But thanks for watching again, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.